Hey, listen to Commander Cookout Podcast, episode 298. I'm Brando. I'm here with Ryan. We're going to continue the arc of breaking the mold by talking about some completely unplayable cards. Now, hit our theme song! Hey, Ryan. We're back for yet another whirlwind adventure. How you doing?
We are back. What is going down?
A whole ton's going down. We're back 2 days in a row for March's extra special bonus show. We're going to talk about cards that nobody plays, but we think that you definitely should. Before we get to any of that, we have to thank our official business daddies, FusionGamingOnline.com. They are your source for all your gaming needs.
Very much so. And every card we talk about today can be had most likely on the very cheap, even cheaper, if you use CCO Spring promo code at checkout to save 5% off.
5% off shit that you should probably have anyway?
Yes, these are cards that you should probably play if you play like we play, casual Commander. And I'm going to extend that to casual, moderate, and high power Commander, because some of these cards in the right deck are very good.
Some of these cards will slap the lips clean off of your face to land directly on your dink, which will then get stomped into the dirt.
That's a lip and dink stomp?
That's right. A slomp, if you will. A slip slomp.
Slip slomp. Oh, man. T-shirt.
Yeah, we got a new t-shirt.
Slip slumps. Man, fantastic.
The next CCO Kickstarter right there, the slip slomp t-shirt. I don't know what the picture is going to look like, but it's going to be censored at Magic Fest, baby.
We're going to have to get those pronoun stickers and stick them all over our whole shirt. Oh, man, that's great.
Yes.
Okay, so today we're back. It's the bonus episode for March. We're talking about all things 3 CMC.
Uh-oh.
Now,
efficiency is what you're talking about. We're talking about the best creatures, the most powerful enchantments, right?
No.
What?
Well, here's the thing. Over the last little while, let's say, I'm not going to put a time frame on it, but over the last little while, Commander has, I don't want to say sped up, but it's gotten to a point where people say things like, I don't even play 4-drop Wrath of Gods anymore. I can only have 1 or 2 5-drops in my deck because that'll make my deck too slow. 3-drop mana rocks are almost unplayable. And we think, and we know a lot of people out there in CCO Nation would tend to agree, that there are many 3-drop mana rocks that are very good. Yeah. And for those who don't think that, who listen to content online, say the format's speeding up and say that you can't play 3-drop mana rocks, we want to just give some information and or our opinions on that. So this is the 3-drop mana rock episode, and tune in on Friday, because Friday's top 5 in 5, we don't usually give it away, but Friday's top 5 in 5 is going to be our top 5 3 CMC mana rocks.
Oh shit.
For the new kids, top 5 3 mana value mana rocks.
Yeah.
So let's peep the notes. Let's see if we got a little bit of business that we alluded to yesterday on the regular show, but we've got a little bit more time today to just expand on some of the stuff that we were hinting at.
Yeah, and if you haven't listened to last days?
Yes.
I was going to say yesterday and last week's at the same time, but what I meant was yesterday's show. You should, because it's really good. We did a really fun deck, and we talked about this crazy arm behind us.
Yep.
And you're going to know what that is if you're watching on YouTube, which you fucking should be. And I explained that to you on the show too.
Mostly it was screaming and pointing, but I have to agree with all of the screaming and the pointing. Mm-hmm. So big thanks to all the subs. Big thanks to all the people that are helping bring future content to everybody out there in CCO Nation. This thing, I'll give a little synopsis. It is a camera boom to shoot top down for gameplay footage. That is something that's coming out. If you want to be featured in the credits for it, you can become a patron supporter over at patreon.com/CCO Podcast. We would very much appreciate it because it's going to be lots of fun and it's stuff that people have been asking for a long time now.
Now, with this thing being so hefty and like a lot less flimsy than I thought it was going to be. Are we going to be able to like take this with us places?
It folds up, like it gets small.
We might have to check a bag.
I hate checking bags.
I do too, but it might be worth it because maybe when events start up again, maybe we can include some of our friends in the nation on the show sometime. That'd be fun.
Ooh, yeah.
That'd be something that'd be neat. We could take the show on the road a little bit.
Oh, that could be part of the CCO experience, which is another sort of piece of content that we're gonna package when we go to events for everybody who doesn't spend time with us at events that would like to, but they're in different parts of the world or the country, they can't make it for whatever reason. We want to show off what it's like to go to a Magic Fest with Ryan and Brando and CCO Nation, because it's a ton of fun. So this kind of equipment and bags to carry it, and I don't have it, but our microphone carrying case and the wires and the lights and the stuff that you can't see, it's all because of the patrons and things like the Kickstarter. And a lot of the times you get super sweet bonus stuff like shirts and the newest thing that's coming to the website.
Oh, look at that. Right back to what we were talking about earlier. That's a segue.
Right back. Well, it's almost like I got show notes and we did some prep to...
Oh, yeah.
People don't see that, but that is the time that it takes to put together something that isn't just like, that thing, and then have an editor edit the crap out of it and it looks all chopped together. Anyways, big thanks to the editors.
Yes. Joe and Tyler do great jobs.
Very good jobs. Right back to the website. A couple of the things that are coming there, some new CCO stickers. They are just some fun, I guess, little things that we like for people to have.
They're in jokes. They're fun.
They say CCO on them. There's a Rule 01 coming out. That's a ton of fun. And Guy Pizza helped us make it. And Brando and I think it's hilarious. We don't want to spoil it because we don't have it yet. But when we have them, we'll show you like the high-res photo. And people can have the high-res photo in the Discord. And the stickers will be available online. And those two are fun little things that you can get that just help the show. And it doesn't take a whole ton of sticker sales, for example, to help us get a carrying case for this thing, for example, because it's like it folds, but it's not that small. And then, and I will give this one away, we do have a sticker coming that is a spice rating sticker. And I'm going to send the file so Joe or Tyler, whoever's doing the show, can put the spice rating sticker on, where it says CCO spice rating, and there's like, instead of Scoville rating at the bottom, it's your CCOville rating at the bottom. And you can put your own spice rating right on your deck box.
Neat.
You just write it in, whatever your spice rating is, and then you say, well, Ryan and Brando, how do I get the spice rating? Like, what's the formula?
Yeah, people are going to say that because people say that.
Well, you go to commandercookout.com or ccopodcast.com because we have that too.
Yeah.
Just so nobody can steal it from us. Like we stole it from Christian Coalition Outreach. You can go to...
They took our Gmail address. We took
their website.
Everything else they could ever want. We showed them.
Yeah. So you go to the website, and somewhere on the website, once it's updated, when we have these stickers all and everything, the spice calculator is going to be either available for download there in Excel format, or it's going to be coded right in so you can just punch it into the website. But I don't know how to do that, so somebody in the nation's going to have to maybe work with me on that. Either way, it'll be available so you can get your own new and improved spice rating. We've changed the formula a little bit.
Tweaked the recipe.
Yes, and you can have that all with the spice rating, and it's a lot of fun. There's flames. It's like a little hot sauce thing.
It's cool.
It's fantastic. So again, just big thanks to everybody who's helped make that possible. Thanks to Guy Pizza for working with us and just
putting up with all of our crap.
Yeah, taking our stupid little weird suggestions and stuff. He's like, sure, I guess I can do that.
Yeah, the man does good work. Yeah, and I think he freelances a little bit. So if you're looking for somebody to do your graphics, to do that kind of stuff for you, hit him up on Twitter. He's a great guy and he does really good work, as you can see by all the work he's done for us.
Yes, very much so. Now, back to 3 CMC mana rocks.
3 rocks in a sock. The episode.
3 rocks in a sock and Max Grendel.
Oh man, I'm so looking forward to that again.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see Max. Hey,
it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
But I'll bet you when we see Max, you know who else we're gonna see?
I'm gonna hit him with the onion bag.
I'll bet you we're going to have to see Dana too. And then we're going to have to sit through another one of his goddamn lectures about how the best 3-mana rock of all time is Monolith. And it's so good, and he's so happy he can play it because it's so efficient, and there's no bells or whistles, and it just does what it's supposed to do, which is make a mana of any color.
It's consistent.
Yeah.
He loved consistency.
Yeah, he loves consistency. Like,
he should be on Consistency Cookout Podcast.
yeah, I'll bet you tapioca is his favorite food because of the consistency, nothing to do with the flavor.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. I'll bet that's true. I bet it is. You know what? It is true.
It's true. It's true. It's on the internet. It must be.
It's on the internet because we put it there, but it's true. I'm going to go on Dana Roach's wiki page and say that his favorite food is tapioca pudding.
Oh.
It's probably true.
That's it. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's get into it.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
All right.
Why do we advocate for them? We've kind of answered this already, but why do we advocate them? What's the positive reason to play these?
I've hit the reason why I don't like the 2-mana rocks quite heavily over time.
We'll get
to that.
We'll get there.
But the 3-mana rock, I think, is one of the coolest design spaces in Magic right now because they're all something that you need to play. Like, you kind of do have to include ramp in your deck these days. Whether you like that or not, you got to have it. And the 3-drop ones, especially the new ones that are coming out now, you're going to see 1 or even 2 in every set that just does something else that's neat.
Something thematic for your deck or something mechanically tied to what your deck does.
Exactly. How cool is it when you can, like, I can tap this for a mana of my color. Sure, but this also taps for a mana of your color, and maybe it does something else that your deck is already doing, or it has like some kind of a bonus effect, or if you draw it late game and you don't really need it, it can do something else. Like, there's so many things that they can do, and in the last couple of sets, I think that WotC has really kind of opened their creative vault a little bit.
Ooh.
And they're actually willing to put some fairly powerful effects on a pretty generic card.
And they do that because they limit the amount of decks that could play it by adding a color to it. See Cursed Mirror, see Over... Crowded Tomb or whatever it's called, right?
Yeah.
The black and the red ones.
Yeah.
They can limit who can play these, and then they can make them more powerful for the strategy that does play them.
Yeah.
Right? It needs to have red in it, or it needs to have black in it, right?
Yeah, which is really cool. And again, it opens the design space. So it makes you, if you look at a card and say, oh, it's a 3-mana rock, I don't like that. Well, but you're missing so much by just sloughing them off to the side.
Yeah.
They're not all key runes and whatever, which we're going to talk about in a bit, but like some of them are really cool, like Strixhaven Stadium or Replicating Ring. Like, there's some really interesting and really cool cards out there.
There it is. Okay, so that's why you would play them. Now, I've got a little thing here, and maybe this is the same question I'm asking in a different way, but I want to cover the negative space too in why are these better than 2-drop rocks? Because 2-drop, 1-drop, or 0-drops, because those are obviously faster. They give you your mana sooner. They take you from 3 to 4, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5,
1 to 2.
Faster. And that is maybe better because 3-drops are powerful now, or 4-drops are powerful now. Like, if you got 1-card combo on your commander and your commander costs 3 or 4, like in my Animar deck, I play all the 0-drops because I need Animar on turn 1 or 2. Are we okay with this in regular Commander, or do we just want to say, like, leave that in CEDH? Like, why don't we want 0, 1, and 2-drop rocks?
Now, Ryan's hitting you with the mathematical functions as to why those are really good cards. I'm going to tell you why I don't like them, and it's because I think that they're uninteresting. If you're going to play a card that's boring, and ramp is boring, okay? Getting more land, more mana is like the most basic thing that every deck does. There's nothing inherently exciting about it on its own. And the 1 and the 0s, the 1s and the 2s that's what they do. And that's all they do. It's like, I have this card and it makes more mana. That is all.
This is just another land that it's like my second land for the turn.
Yeah.
Like, that's all that Mox Diamond is.
And that's it. Yeah. And and you paid hundreds of dollars for that. right? And the price isn't necessarily the cause or the case.
Yeah,
of
because
it,
I mean, you can look at Arcane Signet. You can look at Soul Ring's the best. We're not arguing against the power level or whether you should include these or not. We're just comparing them to 3-drops and asking the question, why do people prefer these now as opposed to these fun and interesting cards that do the same thing?
And I think that you answered it earlier, where it's that you want to do your things a turn sooner. That's why people do it. It's efficiency. It's that I don't want to say it's the commander arms race.
I was just gonna say, is this an arms race thing?
Because I don't think it is personally, but I think that as the format becomes better supported in the world and more played, just everywhere.
Yeah.
You're seeing an influx of players that prefer to play them more, even in their casual decks. Like even when they're doing something janky and casual that is in no way CDH, you still see the 2-drop mana rocks, the hyper efficiency to try and get their stupid meme rolling quicker.
Yeah. You know what? You hit on something there. My Dragon's Approach deck, for example, it's got a mana crypt and it's got all the signets. No, it's got the talismans that deal a damage to you that are 2 mana. It's got mana crypt, mana vault, and it's got a mox. I don't remember which one because I don't play it very often, but it's got all those things to get Dragon's Approach rolling earlier.
Yeah.
But you know what's more interesting is the card that makes it's a 3-drop and it's not a mana rock per se, but it makes spells that I cast that share a name with a card in my graveyard cost 1 less for each card with that name in my graveyard.
Locket of Yesterdays?
Locket of Yesterdays.
Yeah.
I play Locket of Yesterdays, and it's a card that nobody ever knows what it does. And they say...
And why would they?
Oh my god, that works in Commander. This card's unplayable in Commander. Unless you're doing this type of strategy.
Unless you're doing this exact thing.
And that's why we're an advocate for these kinds of cards. Yeah. Not because of the Locket of Yesterday example explicitly, but because of that type of scenario or that type of example versus Arcane Signet is just like, yeah, it's just fine.
Yeah, and Commander Sphere is, yeah.
Well, Commander Sphere is a 3-drop that lets you draw a card too. So like you can cash it in and get it back from your graveyard and loop it and draw cards. Like it lets you do something interesting.
Yeah.
Where Arcane Signet
just hangs out.
It just hangs out, yeah. So I don't know. I don't want to waste too much, or I don't want to talk about that too much because I think people
we're not dumping on people who want to have their decks be powerful, speedy, efficient, all that stuff. That's not what we're talking about. What we are talking about is that you want to like appreciate and take the time to like appreciate that some of these 3-drop cards are good, and maybe they don't even slow your deck down as much as people think they do. I don't. You know what I mean?
I'm just adjusting the camera. Sorry.
Like.
Super podcasting, professional.
Like I think a lot of people who have seen the old, I don't know if you've ever done this, you probably have, the old Commander Sphere into a 1-drop tutor and to draw the card off of the top of your library.
Oh yeah.
Like, right? That's...
It makes your Vampiric tutor like, whoa, really good.
Really, really good now, right? And I pull that out with Atraxa all the time.
Yeah.
Because of a 3-drop mana rock.
Well, and you know what? That happens maybe on turn 3. You know what else would work is land, Mox Diamond, discard a land, and then play my Vampiric Tutor, and then still have a mana left over for a Swan Song or like some other counterspell or removal spell. Yeah. And that's the kind of Magic that people want to play right now because they say that the interaction is more interesting than the cards themselves. I want to interact and I want to play powerful cards that are the best versions of Magic. Maybe because they're coming from Modern, because maybe they don't like Modern right now or they don't like Legacy right now. So they're coming to Commander and they're interested in playing powerful Magic. And powerful Magic as an umbrella is what's interesting versus Locket of Yesterdays or Command Sphere drawing your Vampiric Tutor card, instead of that being the interesting niche, the whole thing as powerful Magic is interesting.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe that's just food for thought. Let us know in the comments. We're going to get into, I think, some cycles of 3-drop mana rocks, and then we're going to go through some of the ones that we play, the most powerful ones. No spoilers, but we're going to cut it a little bit short because we've got Friday's top 5 and 5 with our personal favorite ones.
Yeah, it's going to be fucking dope.
Yeah. So, cycles. There is cycles and why you might want to play them, I guess.
Ooh.
Because
titles, bullet points.
Yeah, we could. I do have bullet points. We could just say like the Ramos cycle.
That's the tooth and the horn and the claw and the eye and the
butthole and the dink.
Heart? Is that?
Oh yeah, there's a heart.
Did I actually get them all?
I don't know.
I think I did. Tooth, horn, eye, heart.
There's a skull.
Skull. There.
Skull. Is there a horn?
There's definitely the green one's the horn. Huh? I'm almost positive that the green one is the horn of Ramos.
Well, what they do is they're a 3-drop rock that tap for a color, a specific color.
One color.
One color, like the skull taps for black, I think, right?
Yes.
And then you can sacrifice them to get another mana of the same color. So you could get 2 mana in one turn with them. So this cycle is good for that 1 extra mana to burst you forward.
Yeah. Is that why Ramos makes the white, blue, black, black, green, red?
Yes, nice. Because if you tap his entire cycle and then sacrifice them, you get Wooburg.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those ones are good for burst mana. You might see those like in Storm decks or decks that are trying to ramp to some amount of mana specifically, and they want to get their return sooner.
In the same way that they play the depletion lands from Masks, where you
yes.
Yeah.
There's a cycle from Fallen Empires as well that come into play tapped, but you can tap and sacrifice them to get 2 mana of the same color. Dwarven Ruins is the red one that I play in Zada, because you want to get to that burst mana value, whatever that is, 5 or 6 or whatever, to storm sooner. And these rocks let you do that.
Yeah, Ramos, baby. And they look cool also.
The next ones, I'm going to lump them all in, and I got to look at my screen to read them all. They're the banners, the key runes, the lockets, the clue stones, and the crystals. So I don't know if Joe or Tyler is going to have all those on the screen or not, but generally they all have something to do with drawing cards.
Yeah, they cost 3. They tap for some color or colors of mana, and for some investment, you can get rid of them and turn them into a card.
Yes. So generally, people regard these as unplayable, bad in EDH, not good under like any circumstances. Some of them cost 3 and tap for 3 different colors. So if you're playing like a shard or a wedge color combination, they give you all of your colored mana. And then you can sacrifice them to draw a card. In the crystals case, you can cycle them. So if you're playing like a cycling deck in 3 colors or more, you can cycle them away. Mm-hmm. And they provide you value in that way. Specifically, I got an example.
Okay.
Averna the Chaos Bloom, my Cascade Super Friends deck is a teamer deck. And I play the Clue Stones and the Lockets, some combination of those. In that deck, it's Commander Cookout episode 247. I play them in that deck because it's a Cascade deck, but you still need ramp.
Right.
And if all my ramp is just regular 1 and 2 drop mana rocks, cascading into those sucks. Oh, man. Trust me, I've done it.
Oh man, cascading into a talisman or not a talisman, 2, 1, tap them, get one of a guild colors. What are those called?
Signets. Yes.
Oh my god, that sucks.
You know what? Cascading into a soul ring sucks. 3 wishes or rampant growth suck.
Yeah.
So what I do is I cascade into a locket or a clue stone, because if I super late game cascade into a shitty old mana rock, I can cash that in and draw cards off it and cascade again. That's why those are in there. They ramp me early in mid game, let's say, to late game where my cascaders are. And then I can cash them in for card draws if I accidentally cascade into them.
Yeah.
Because you got the tops and you got the scroll racks and you got the scry cards. But you don't, sometimes you're cascading blind and you just hit a mana rock.
Yeah.
So those let me cash in. There's Dragon Monument cards that turn into like Otarka's Monument or Ojutai's Monument or whatever. They turn into like 4/4 dragon creatures. So if you're playing a dragon deck, your dragon deck that's trying to get to 7 or 8 isn't going to care if your mana rock costs 1 2, or 3.
Yeah.
Or 4 in Thran Dynamo's case.
Because you're not doing much before then anyway.
So those dragon monuments are good because they turn into dragon creatures, and that might be important in a dragon deck.
Yeah, and dragons are cool.
Oh,
also.
just like Dragon's Horde.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about Dragon's Horde.
Oh, you got that one? That's on your list?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Not his top 5 list. No spoilers.
No,
but
Dragon's Horde is really, really cool. I like that card a lot for a lot of reasons.
okay, so those are the cycles that I wanted to draw attention
Did we talk
to.
about the totems?
Oh, the totems are on my list. That was the last one.
Okay, because the totems I think are really, really interesting in that they show the range of things that they can do with a 3-drop mana rock. And in this case, these were the Time Spiral cards that they took a bunch of really iconic creatures from Magic's past and just stuck them on mana rocks.
So let's say Chronotog
Yep.
is Chronotog Totem.
Yep.
Phyrexian Negator is Negator Totem.
Phyrexian
Totem. And then there's
Pharesian Giant
well,
or something.
it's phonetically Pharesian Giant, but it's Four-Eyesian Giant because it's evil giant of 4 eyes or whatever from Alpha and Beta or whatever, and they made Four-Eyesian Totem. And it turns into a creature that can block 2 creatures.
Yeah.
So super cool. And I've played that card because it's a 3-drop mana rock that gave me red in my big red burn deck that could block creatures.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's cool. And it's just, it shows the space. Those ones aren't necessarily the best. Like Weatherseed Totem isn't amazing.
I'm surprised you even remembered. What's the name of the white one?
Isolated Watchtower?
What?
I think.
Totem?
Isolated Watchtower Totem? No, I'm thinking of it because it turns into a watchman. It turns into a dude too, but I don't know what the totem is.
Oh man.
It doesn't matter what the totem is. But the point is, none of them are incredible, but it does show that, like, hey, we can put this neat creature that you might remember on this mana rock, and somebody will play it or think it's funny.
That's thematically including something, not mechanically including something.
Yeah, it's just something neat that's who actually ever cashed in their turn to give their Chronotog Totem +3/+3.
Oh,
not their Chronotog, their Chronotog Totem.
Yeah,
because it can only be activated once.
Oh man!
So it's either
what was the combo? Chronotog and Stasis. You just always give up your turn and keep your opponents tapped down.
Yeah,
because you cash out your turn, thereby not drawing a card, and then you Stasis lock everybody, so they can never untap, and you deck your entire opponent.
Isn't that an amazing game? Does that sound awesome?
It's fantastic.
Don't you want to do that right now?
Let's move into some 3-drops that we play.
Okay.
I've got a list.
Okay.
I think you've got a little bit of a list too.
My brain.
And a bunch of them are going to be crossovers.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got Basalt Monolith. It's a 3-drop that you can untap for 3 mana.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of combos you do with that, right?
Oh yes.
Wake Thrasher.
Yes, if you can make your the untap cost less, you can tap it and untap it infinitely.
Yes.
Which is very good.
Yeah, there are several ways to turn that into an infinite mana outlet.
Does it add 3 and untap for 3? No, how does it work?
Basalt Monolith is tapped. It taps for the exact same amount of mana that it costs to untap it. That's why.
Oh, it taps for 1 and untaps for 1, right?
Or 1 or 2, or I think it's 2.
I never remember.
It's 2 or 3. It doesn't matter.
You tap it and untap it, and then it's a thing.
Yeah. You put what is it, Empower Artifact on it or something, and you just win. That's
or Zerta the Dawn Waker, something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you just win with it.
Yeah, it's a good one. Podcasting, professional.
Yeah, we don't need to know what all the cards do. Nobody knows what all the cards do. There's like 178 3-drop mana rocks in the game. So many to choose from.
Yeah, well, here's one that we do know what it does. This is Cursed Mirror.
Oh, I love Cursed Mirror. That's a good one.
This is red 2. Enters the battlefield. Gain control of target creature. Untap it. It gains haste.
No, it comes into play as a copy.
Oh, yes, that's what it is.
It comes into play as a copy of a creature, and then it turns back into a mana rock after you've used said creature.
Yes,
very cool.
So you ramp with your 0 and 1 and 2 drop rocks, and you play like your big commander 6/6, 8/8, whatever.
Yeah.
And I go Cursed Mirror. Your guys tapped because you attacked with it, because it obviously has haste, because boots, because you ramped into boots. Of course you did. And I go, my Cursed Mirror is that, and I'll hit you with your own guy.
Yeah. That's dope as hell.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Super cool. So I like that one. How about, and These two, I really do think that these two, out of all the crappy ones that I mentioned, I think that these two might have gotten outclassed because we've got relatively good access to shock lands and fetch lands. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of very serviceable 2-color lands in Commander now, and triomes. This is Chromatic Lantern and Coalition Relic. What do you think?
I never really liked Coalition Relic. I always thought it was kind of just sort of meh.
Even in Atraxa?
Even in Atraxa. Don't even play it in Atraxa. I do think that Chromatic Lantern still holds some value and a place in a deck because it does turn your shitty fetches like your Terramorphic Expanses and Evolving Wilds into whatever land color you want.
Yep.
And it's just, on a budget, it will fix your mana base all by itself. You shouldn't lean on it, but 3 mana for perfect mana for the rest of the game, as long as that thing stays in play, is not something to be shaking a stick at. I think that we look at how serviceable mana bases are now, and how bend overable to Blood Moon everybody's mana base is now, and just forget that this Chromatic Lantern can just fixes you.
Fixes me, and I can still play basics.
Yeah.
And I don't have to spend the money on the expensive shock lands or fetch lands.
Yeah, like if you don't have any of those cards, then Chromatic Lantern's going to make your deck more consistent. And if you do have all of those things, Chromatic Lantern is still going to make your deck more consistent.
I suppose so.
I think that people do think about it. Yeah, we don't really need this anymore. But I mean, maybe you don't, but you never, you never not need it either.
Here's 2 more that people seem to think are going by way of the past. This is Commander Sphere that we've already mentioned.
As being good.
3-drop that you tap for any color, and you can sacrifice it to draw a card.
Don't have to tap and sack, just sack.
Very notably, so if it is tapped and then artifacts are destroyed, like Vandal Blast or whatever, just cashed in for a card.
Give me a card, yeah.
That's good. And Extraplanar Lens. This is the imprint one where you exile a card from your hand, right? That shares...
From play.
From play. Mm-hmm. But all the other lands on the battlefield that share a name with the exiled card tap for 2.
Yeah, that's that high risk, high reward magic that we talked about yesterday, where like I've seen people get just blown all the way out with an Extraplanar Lens.
Why?
Well, because like in the example I'm talking about, the guy put a snow-covered mountain.
Yeah, and that was the trick of old, is play snow-covered, because nobody plays snow-covered, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then, but somebody else was doing the snow-covered thing too. So Buddy plays Extraplanar Lens, sacrificing one of his lands. Other guy takes his next turn. Now he has 8 mana instead of 4. Plays his whole turn. And by his whole turn, I mean plays 6 mana worth of stuff, and then use the last 2 to kill the Extraplanar Lens.
Just shatters it, hey? Fantastic.
It was so good. It was so perfect. Like why does nobody play Mana Flare? That's why nobody plays Mana Flare, because you always get screwed when you do. And Extraplanar Lens, I think, is kind of in that thing now. And because people aren't playing as many basics and all that kind of stuff, I feel like it's kind of lost some of its luster, rightly or wrongly. Because I still think it's a cool card, but I don't play it very much.
I suppose it's a fine card in decks that run a lot of basics.
Yeah.
And there are more regular basics than snow-covered basics. Mm-hmm. So if you're playing mono whatever, and you've got snow-covered matters in the deck, scrying sheets or some snow-covered removal something, why not run Extraplanar Lens? Because it's a mana doubler.
Yeah.
And more often than not, it will give you the bonus and not your opponent.
Yeah, that probably won't hose you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's a solid card.
Yeah. Okay, well, what about this one? This is Heraldic Banner. This is one that I do play still. This is a 3-drop. You name a color. Creatures of the chosen color you control get +1/+0. And it taps to add a mana of that color.
Man, I screw this one up all the time because I always think it's a creature type. It taps for 1 mana of any color to play that creature, and all that creature type gets bigger. That's what I always think when I see that card. I'm always wrong. So I always windmill slam it and scream "Slug" in Toxrill, and then they go, "Why did you say that?"
You're supposed to say black.
Yeah, and then black. Black. I meant black, not slug. And then everybody laughs like that, and that's where we go. I like Heraldic Banner. That's a cool one.
I think that people do like that one too. That's a good one because pumping is valuable.
It's a cool anthem, and it's mana rock.
I think that's all good.
That's again that design space that we talked about, where it's a 3-drop mana rock that pumps your whole team. What?
Well, let's talk about some design space that we're never going back to.
Okay.
This is Metalworker.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, this is a 3-drop mana rock. No, it's $100 and some 3-drop mana rock.
Yeah.
It's probably the most. This and one of the next ones is probably the most expensive ones.
Yeah.
Metalworker's 3 for a creature. It's like a 1/2 or whatever. Doesn't matter. You tap it and reveal artifacts from your hand. And for each artifact you reveal from your hand, how many mana do you get? 2 or 3?
I think it's 2.
Is it 2 or 3?
I'm pretty sure it's 2.
I'm looking it up because I never remember. Do you got it or
I don't have it.
I gotta
have
find
to
it.
use yours.
This is fantastic. I've seen a Metalworker power out a turn 1 Kozilek Butcher of Truth with Lightning Greaves. Guy has Kozilek with Lightning Greaves, attacks buddy sitting next to me who has 1 land, and he goes, "Oh, I guess I'll just take it and annihilate 4 and go down to 0 lands." Oh man, fantastic! It's a 1/2 and artifact card in your hand. Add 2 colorless mana, and reveal like 4 or 5 artifacts from your hand, and you get 10 mana.
Then you play them all. Or you play Kozilek out of the command zone. It's brutal.
And then you draw cards off a Kozilek. And then you can maybe untap your Metalworker with your unwinding, not your
Voltaic key.
What is it? Clock of Omens? Clock of Omens.
Clock of Omens.
Tap 2 untapped artifacts to untap target artifact. You just untap your Metalworker after you've played your Kozilek and drawn 4 cards. You tap it again, reveal 4 more cards that you just drew. 8 more mana. Like, what in the earth? What? This is, I don't know.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm talking like it's on my top 5 and 5.
Not.
But it's not, and I don't want to give out a whole ton of spoilers. It's not because it's actually lots of money.
Yeah. Also, we can, right next to it in the list on edhrec.com is Midnight Clock, which has a Power 9 card stapled to it.
Ooh, that's a good one. You play this one.
I sure do. 3-drop mana rock with a Time Twister attached to it. Just for you.
Just for you, my friend. Time Twister. Special deal. On now for 3 mana.
For 3. And in a game of in regular Magic, it needs 12 counters. But in a game of EDH, that's like, what, 3 turns?
You play that in Atraxa?
Sure do.
Very excellent.
Because it's really good. And it's a Time Twister that nobody can get mad about because it's on a 3-drop mana rock. One of the most powerful cards ever printed. Restricted in vintage. Costs like $800.
Time Twister's like fucking like $4,000.
It's gone up way more since I looked at the prices of Power 9 cards.
Whenever I've been in games, like Cube games or even Commander games where Power 9 cards come out, I've never been mad.
Yeah.
Never been mad because that's the expectation going in. You manage your expectations. And even I'm playing against a Narset player one time in Vegas and he drops thing, Wheel of Fortune, thing, extra attack, thing, Time Twister, thing. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I lose. Anyways, getting back to Metalworker, and there's a couple other creature 3 mana rocks.
Yeah.
We've played these on Commander Cookout. We've played Palladium Mirror.
It taps for 2.
Yep, 3-drop that taps for 2. It's like a mini Metalworker.
It's like a fixed, but also crappy Sol Ring.
Oh, yeah, or fixed or crappy Metalworker.
Much crappier Metalworker.
And then there's also Cathodian. When it dies, you get 3 mana to your mana pool.
Oh, yeah.
And not traditionally a mana rock, because like it doesn't give you mana when you cast it. But in the Junk Diver and Mirror Retriever artifact decks with cost reduction and sacrifice like Clan Ironworks or our next mana rocks, you can cycle those and you can continue to make mana over turn with your Cathodian. Because it dies and gives you mana.
That's right.
So those are just cool little things. We wanted to include them. But Metalworker, I just looked it up, 161 Freedom Unit dollars. For a gold bordered one is like 40. So it's like I didn't want to put a card that expensive on my top 5.
Jeez.
Yeah. Plus it's reserved list.
Everything makes
Yeah,
sense.
so F that card. On to the last, I guess 2-3 drops that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Altars.
Oh, yeah.
The Altar of Phyrexia.
Yeah, not altars like show up every Thursday on our Facebook page, but like altars.
Altar of Phyrexia, Phyrexian Altar, and Ashnod's Altar.
Yeah.
These are among the most powerful artifacts in the format. Never mind 3-drop mana rock.
Yeah.
They represent usually the backbone of a combo or a free sack outlet, thereby letting you skirt things like removal because you sacrifice for a benefit, Wrath of Gods, or if they're not the part of the combo because they're generating mana for you, the thing that you're sacrificing for free is got a dies trigger, or something else has a dies trigger, like a
Gravecrawler.
like an aristocrat, and then you can get your Gravecrawler back, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They are...
Anybody who's ever seen one of those played, I'm going to say played properly or well, knows exactly how good those are. And even if you're not playing them with some kind of a back-breaking combo, that they're really, really good.
They're really, really good. So good that when people know that they're that good, you almost have to be careful when you play them. It's like, you can't just run them out there. Oh, turn 3, I have 3 mana. I'm going to run it out there because on turn 6, when I cast my commander, then I'll win. No, you got to wait till like turn 9 where you can cast your commander and your Ashnod's Altar on the same turn, so you can do it all at once when everybody else is tapped out, right?
I used to play Ashnod's Altar in my Norrin deck just because I had one and it makes so many tokens, right? And I could sack the tokens. And it was just there to sack my shitty tokens to get mana, and it always got turfed. It got turfed so often that I just cut it and played something else.
Well, yeah, because in Norrin, and this is just like regular case deck that isn't designed to take advantage of the rock or do the combo with it. Norrin ETBs or leaves, you're getting tokens, whatever they are, doesn't matter, they're 1/1s, and you use them to block, so you don't die.
Yeah.
You land your Ashnod's Altar, and you go sacrifice 9 tokens. Comet Storm you for 18.
Yeah, baby.
You die.
It's like he was there for that one.
Comet Storm you for 18, and I'll pay 1 to multi-kick it just out of my pile of mountains that I have. Kill you 2.
Yeah.
And you don't even mean for it to happen, but because it's a free sack outlet that gives you a very valuable resource in the game, you just automatically win.
Yeah.
So those
Not
are...
that that's ever happened.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That actually that is probably a true story, to be honest.
Yeah. So do you think that we've convinced the 3 CMC haters? I know that there's some 3 CMC haters in the CCO Discord.
Dang,
man. They're being infiltrated by other content creators saying that they're no good. And do you think that we've convinced anybody that 3 CMC rocks have a very meaningful place in the format?
Of course we did. We're really smart and we're really articulate. And that's all we've been talking about for the last 45 minutes. So yes.
Okay, well, couple things.
Okay.
I want to reiterate the thanks to the Kickstarter supporters, to the patrons, to all the people in the community that help us do this. And I've said it on the show. I've said it in person to people at events. It does take a little village to raise a podcast.
It sure does.
And all the support is very meaningful to Brando and I and helps us do the things and all the stuff. So
and
big
our
thanks.
village is the best because it has a roller coaster. And that's true because you can see it on the play, man.
Well, go get one. Get one right now. We got one. It's on the floor.
Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. That's fucking cool. You guys helped us do that.
Yeah, so
that's amazing.
When you get them, when you get your shirts and your stickers and your playmats and stuff, make sure that you get onto Twitter, you get onto Facebook or like group chats or Discords, whatever you're a part of, show it off. There's also this little snake that my kid brought in here. It was hanging up on the tripod before. Big thanks for that. Big thanks to Fusion for helping with the shipping. Again, if there's any issues, I don't know if I mentioned it today or yesterday, if there's any issues, get a hold of us via email, commandercookout@gmail.com, or DM me on the Discord, or DM me on Twitter, or whatever. We'll fix it and make it right for you, or as right as we Ken. Because we do want people to be happy with the stuff that they receive. We want them to like and use and show off the stuff, the tokens, the stickers, hang up the prints,
Wear the shirts.
Use the Monarch big print as your Monarch token in the game.
That'd be cool.
I think that's why so many people pick that print is to get the big
It wasn't because it had my fucking face on it?
I don't think
probably
so.
Not. Hey, I wouldn't. Yeah, that's very true.
Final thing I want to say before Brando's final thought of the day is don't forget to watch all the socials. We've got our Secret Lair Call Time 2 Hyper 2 foil giveaway going on. You just have to like and share that, and we super appreciate that, and we want to give it away because it's worth $100 and some bucks now.
And there's a couple of unplayable 6-drops in there.
Oh, yeah, if you don't play 3-drops, man, fuck, you're not going to like this giveaway. But watch for that, and watch for our socials when we start to put the Kickstarter stickers, because we have extras, and the new stickers and the new spice calculator on Commander Cookout. We haven't busted one of those in a while.
We haven't popped that out in a long time. And there's lots of happy and exciting stuff happening in the nation.
Yes.
And we're glad that you're all here. We're glad that you're all playing 3-mana rocks to be here, because they're fun and they're interesting and not to be overlooked in the face of eternal efficiency, because it's not all about efficiency. Sometimes it's about being interesting and having fun and having somebody go, why are you even doing that? Yes. Right? That's fun. It's fun when somebody says, What? Did you really paint that ambiguity's border black so that I would have to read it? Yes. In fact, no. I paid Ryan to do it. That's another true story that you're only going to hear on shows like Commander Cookout Podcast. Hit our theme song!